Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. Citi News on 97.3 FM. Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News. We're coming to you live from our studios at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka Kra. My name is Ajuatin Krama Domina. Coming up in the bulletin this afternoon, Small-Scale Miners Association describes calls for ban on all small-scale mining activities as an emotional demand.
We can easily say that those people who are calling on the ban are being emotional, but we should put emotions aside and solve this problem head on.
We have more coming up on the fight against illegal mining as it gains momentum among various groups and individuals across the country. Also coming up, NPP's National Executive Council sets Wednesday, September 11 to take decision on outcome of its Wale Wale parliamentary primary after the Electoral Commission declared the rerun null and void.
I am taking the matter to report it to the national headquarters. Then, General Secretary have called an emergency next meeting, which will be tomorrow, 10 a.m.
Still in the bulletin, we'll take you to the Labour Front, and the National Association of Institutional Suppliers threatened picketing against the government over its failure to clear over 100 million cedis in debt owed them.
Payments are still delaying. As we speak, those in first years, they've not even started paying those in first year. So it's an issue that we are looking at it closely. And if nothing is done about it, we will actually hit the street. We will pick it again.
And later, former Electoral Commission Chair Dr. Kwadwo Afarijan demands stiffer punishment for persons who commit electoral offences.
Persons who commit serious election offences, particularly if they are professional election officials or electronic experts, must be severely punished.
Stay with us for details of these and many more stories coming your way in the next 30 minutes. Remember, the news is live around the globe on citinewsroom.com. Across the country, we are live on a number of affiliate stations. In the Western region, this is Premier 100.5 FM in Takoradi Beach, 105.5 FM in Takoradi. In Abunu region, find us on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyai. In the Ashanti region, Orange, 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, this is Holy, 98.5 FM in Aplao. In the Northern region, Dasuma, 99.1 FM in Yendi. In Upper East, Word, 88.3 FM in Zwarungu, and in the Upper West region, this is Boogly Radio 88.6 FM. Stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
We're grateful you chose us this afternoon. Let's begin the bulletin on illegal mining issues. And the Concerned Small-Scale Miners Association has pushed back against growing calls for a complete ban on small-scale mining, arguing that such a move would be ineffective. This comes in response to appeals from religious leaders and civil society organizations who have called for an immediate halt in all small-scale mining operations as a measure to combat illegal mining and its environmental impact. Now, concerns have been raised over the ongoing destruction of water bodies in several regions due to illegal mining, sparking public outcry. However, in an interview with Citi News, the president of the Concerned Small-Scale Miners Association, Michael Kwejopepra, dismissed the call for a ban, stating that this is driven by emotions rather than practical solutions.
We have witnessed the worst form of galamsey in this country. When the military was brought in, we all can remember the task that was given to them. They deviated, and some of them indulged in corrupt practices. So we can also say emphatically that, the ban would not yield any result. As a matter of fact, if we don't put the best enforcement practices we can never achieve anything, even if we should put a ban on it. But as a matter of fact, if indeed we want to solve this galamsey problem, government needs to create jobs. Government needs to bring about sustainable practices in helping curb this galamsey issue. Because people will not sleep on gold and at the end of the day starve. So people who are calling on the ban must as well bring about various solutions to help government in solving this problem. Because we are in this country, government cannot say that they are not benefiting from this small-scale mining sector. Government had over $3.5 billion from the export of gold in this country. So we can easily say that those people who are calling on the ban are being emotional, but we should put emotions aside and solve this problem head on.
You heard the president of the Concerned Small Scale Miners Association, Michael Kwejo-Pepra. Let's stay on this because president of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, Professor Mamudu Akudugu, has justified UTAG's decision to embark on an indefinite strike if the government fails to immediately ban illegal mining in 3 weeks. UTAG released a statement demanding the government bans illegal mining, describing the present state of water bodies due to the activities of illegal mining as a national crisis. While speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, Professor Akudugu said the government must ban illegal mining until it can enforce sustainable mining in a manner that will not affect the environment.
You have heard about the Ghana Water Company complaining about the inability to process enough, volume. We heard about deformation in, deformed children being born, young children being tested with heavy metals. We've heard about our food being poisoned, and all the rest of that. So we are at a crisis level that we believe that immediate and decisive action is needed at this point in time. That's why we think that this call was important for us to make. UTAG doesn't only exist to fight for salaries and emoluments. We exist to make significant contributions to the development of our society. It is legitimate, and we have the right to embark on industrial action if need be.
Well, Professor Akudugu re-emphasized the seriousness of the union to embark on this industrial action or strike, inviting other unions to join in.
UTAG has just issued a statement. I've seen also a statement issued by TUTAC. It's just a matter of time. I believe that even the TUC, our umbrella body, will I believe strongly that they would also issue a statement in due course. So it's a matter of time. We believe other unions will come on board because this is a matter that affects everybody. And so I believe this may be the first time that unions will take an action that doesn't ordinarily will not have taken because of the threat to our lives and the serious concerns that we have.
How serious we take your threat that if by end of September there is no ban, you will go on strike? I mean, this is pretty serious thing to say, that all university teachers late tools end of September if galamsey is not banned. This is what you're telling us.
That's exactly correct. And it's to be taken seriously.
Professor Mamudu Akudugu is president of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG. He was speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show. Let's stay with UTAG and still on galamsey, this time at the KNUST, because president of the UTAG KNUST chapter, Professor Eric Abavare, has expressed regret over the ineffectiveness of the country's laws against illegal mining. Despite numerous initiatives, he suggested civil disobedience, arguing that the current laws are no longer effective.
Civil disobedience, that's the only way we can salvage the situation. The laws don't work anymore. Not that the laws are not good, but I think the goodness of the law is its ability to solve the problem. And so if the problem still persists with the laws, it then tells you that the laws are weak and inefficient. And so one key thing is we need to scrap with the law. I know many disagree, but that's the only way, because a key component of the law, which is the kings and the chiefs who are supposed to be made culpable, I don't know whether they are factored in there. And so the person goes with the concession, he goes to the king, and then the rules are all in the concession. But the king, who is the mastermind, I don't know how it's treated in there. And so we feel that for the laws to be effective and potent, the factor of the kings are crucial. And in this, it is now the strongest link, and it's now on the aloof. So we must unite, and you have mining over laws. That's why weapons are going to be exchanging hands. Even now, such a thing are ongoing. And so, if you don't fight it now, it's going to degenerate.
Professor Erica Bavari is the president of the University Teachers Association of Ghana at KNUST. Meanwhile, president of the Ghana Bar Association, Yao Echampon Boafo, has excused President Akufo-Addo's silence on the fight against illegal mining. In his speech at this year's bar conference, many expected the president to speak on the lost fight against illegal mining and the way forward at the opening of the bar conference in Kumasi yesterday. The Bar Association's president condemned the inaction and wanton destruction of forest reserves and water bodies in his speech, but President Akufo-Addo in his speech, which lasted more than an hour, was silent on Galamsey. While speaking on the City Breakfast Show, Yao Echampon Boafo said the association prefers swift action from the president rather than mere rhetoric.
It would be unfair to the president to say that just because he came with a prepared speech and he had not seen my speech before, because nobody sees the other speech, and him not making a comment as a sign of he's not serious, I think it would be unfair. I don't want to go to that. I don't want us to reduce this to a political thing. My point is, whether the president says it or not, what we demand of him now as the chief executive of the nation is to make sure that steps are taken to end this menace. That is for me, because he put his presidency on the line for that. And for us, we have to hold him that, look, deal with it. So, because if the president had given a brilliant response and said this and acted and said and had done, and that's nothing thereafter, it would affect us. If he did not respond, but he takes concrete steps, I would prefer that.
Well, the president of the Bar Association has reiterated his call for government to review the free senior high school policy. Yao Echampon Boafo called on Ghanaians who are speaking on the City Breakfast Show to speak up to compel politicians to implement realistic policies.
If we as a nation, as a people, we are honest and we let the president know that yes, it's true that you are trying to get everybody to go to school, which is a very brilliant idea. But we believe that those of us who can afford to pay are going to be honest to pay. And the president sees that it has public support. Politicians always want to be popular. They have to win elections. That policy would be reviewed. So I'm not interested more in the president's response. I'm interested in us as a people, because the policy is as popular as because of how we have bought into it. But my point is that if we, as the same people, tell the president that, listen, we want more resources to be freed from the education budget to tackle the real poor issues. So those of us who, by God's grace, we can afford it, will do. The president will review the policy. But if we keep on raising the policy that it is helping and then we are not being handled, and go back to basics, make sure that across the length and breadth of the country, every Saito building is a place where a child can go and give hope.
You heard Yao Echampon Boafo. He's president of the Ghana Bar Association. Let's move away from Galamsey now. The Ghana Civil Society Cocoa Platform has cautioned against the possibility of military personnel who work with the Ghana Cocoa Board against smuggling becoming compromised. This comes after Cocoa Board disclosed that it has sought intervention from the Defense Ministry to deal with the issue of smuggling, which is significantly reducing the country's share of global cocoa production. Now, speaking to City News, co-convener of the Civil Society Cocoa Platform, Obed Owusu-Adai, said the military has a tendency of being compromised the longer they stay in camp.
I'm happy that finally the Cocoa Board and then the security agencies are taking the issue of smuggling serious, but we would also throw a word of caution that we have seen the military in action in the forestry sector through the Operation Hot. The military were in action, and we saw that the longer they stay at the borders and the patrol, they become compromised. So the security should also put in place measures to minimize the possibility of their officers becoming compromised in the smuggling camp. If we are able to do all this, then the military coming into the picture will be very, very useful and beneficial to reduce these incidences of smuggling.
Meanwhile, the group has urged the Ghana Cocoa Board to focus on improving pricing of cocoa beans to tackle the increased activities of smuggling.
Last season, the 2023-2024 cocoa season, Burkina Faso, where they were buying cocoa around 8,000 Ghana cedis a bag. Togo were also buying around 7,500 Ghana cedis a bag. So it's about pricing. If the price is good, then the farmers will not be motivated to sell the beans to those processors that come to buy them for our neighbors. That is one. Then the second thing is using the security forces. I am a forester. I have worked at the border before, and I know how porous the border is, how some of our own immigration officers and custom officers connive with some of these smugglers. So it's about enforcing the law, policing the borders, and also making sure that the farmer is not motivated to smuggle or work with these processors that come to buy cocoa beans for these criminals that are smuggling our cocoa beans.
That's the co-convener of the Ghana Civil Society Cocoa Platform, Obed Owusu Ada. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. When we return, NPP's National Executive Council sets Wednesday, September 11 to take decision on outcome of its Wale Wale parliamentary primary. We'll bring you details of that and other stories shortly. Please stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Get ready for the ultimate battle of business minds at the Citi Business Olympics 2024. Join us for a day of intense competition, team building, and networking as companies go head to head in the various challenges to prove their skills and expertise. From traditional sports like seven-a-side football, basketball, sack race, and volleyball to unique challenges like tug of war and arm wrestling, there's no shortage of excitement and adrenaline pumping action. Don't miss out on this exciting event that will test your business acumen and athletic skills on the field. Date Saturday 28th September 2024. Venue Eden Heights Sports Complex, Wager. Time 8 a.m. Call 0558-973-973 for details on how you can participate and showcase your company's talents at the Citi Business Olympics 2024. Get ready to compete, collaborate, and conquer. The Citi Business Olympics 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Piva Beverages, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, Bethel Logistics, experts in shipping logistics, and Luzati Lozenges from Unicom Chemist Limited.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Let's bring you some politics. Now, the National Executive Council of the governing New Patriotic Party is expected to take a decision on the outcome of the Wale Wale parliamentary rerun on Wednesday, September 11. The meeting comes on the back of the Electoral Commission declaring the election null and void. This decision comes after an unknown individual disrupted the sorting process and destroyed most of the ballot papers. Third National Vice Chair of the New Patriotic Party and Chairman of the Elections Committee, Alhaji Masawudu Osman, tells Citi News tomorrow's NEC meeting will decide on what's next for the party.
According to the EC, the entire election is unconcluded because some of the ballots, those ballots that has been spoiled, he cannot identify that this particular ballot paper is for Mr. A or Mr. B. In this case, he has annulled the entire election. So The election is being supervised by the Electoral Commission, and they conduct a supervised election. But the decision taken now is left for the party because it is an internal election. Internal election, the party can take its own decision upon whatever outcome would be. So, as a national third vice chairman and chairman of the election committee, I am so much disappointed. But what I will say is that I am not the only person to take decision. I am taking the matter to report it to the national headquarters. Then, General Secretary have called an emergency NEC meeting, which will be tomorrow, 10 a.m. That the NEC members will meet so that we discuss on that matter. Whatever decision the NEC takes, because the NEC is the second highest decision making for the party. Whatever the NEC takes, that is what we are going to go by it.
That's the third national vice chair of the NPP and chairman of the elections committee, Alhaji Masawudu Osman. Let's stay on the Wale primary because a political analyst and senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast has warned that recent development in the Wale constituency NPP primary could have a detrimental impact on the party's prospects in the December elections. And now in an interview with Citi News, a political analyst said the NPP must exercise extreme caution in resolving the electoral issues lest they jeopardize the party's electoral fortunes in the December 7 polls.
It is quite appalling where we've gotten to when it comes to intra-party competition. This was supposed to be a friendly foe, so to speak. But because the stakes are high, and that is why we are witnessing some of these, violent means of solving such a problem. As much as the people over there may have a soft spot for the vice president because of the area and where he equally comes from. You see, where you look at the 2020 elections and the percentage that was used to win against the NDC is slim. Now, the party, as of now, you could see that party is divided over there. And so, should they force their way for the Kabiru to win, they are likely to lose the seat. As it stands now, if the Hajia or something, if that faction wins, equally, they are going to face some problems with the Kabiru faction as well. And so, if they are not careful, they will lose the seat come 7 December 2024.
You heard a political analyst and senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast, Dr. Jonathan Asante Ochre. Let's go to the quarters of the NDC now. In flag bearer of the party, John Mahama says Ghanaians would be better off bringing the NDC back into power in the upcoming December elections. According to him, the new patriotic party has performed poorly after 2 terms in office. Speaking to Jine in the Bono region, John Mahama urged Ghanaians to vote massively for the NDC.
The government has collapsed all key agencies. We are the best when it comes to development. In 2016, numerous promises were made, yet only a handful has been fulfilled, leaving most of Ghanaians behind.
You can say, and you know, I'm saying, yes, I'm coffee, you're dada. Na, you want now, or share your sweet.
The time has come for a new leadership. Vote for the NDC.
Na for flower by, you know. I do, you know. You need your mukra.
Flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, speaking there at Jine in the Bono region. Let's stay on election-related matters as a former chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Kujua Farijan, has called for stiffer punishment for persons who commit electoral offences, especially when there are electoral officials. Now, he says persons who commit such offences must not be allowed to go scot-free because much is expected from them. Dr. Farijan addressed a forum on the sidelines of the annual General Conference of the Ghana Bar Association in Kumasi.
Because the persons who vote decide the winner. In a democratic election, the voter is preeminent, and a valid vote is inviolable for purposes of determining the will or the choices of the people. One implication of this is that persons who commit serious election offenses, particularly if they are professional election officials or electronic experts must be severely punished for attempting to undermine the will of the people. Possibly a treasonable act. Possibly. And I'm singling out here professional election administrators and electronic experts because they know exactly what they are doing. A voter may commit some infraction. That's no. The election official, by their training, they know what is the right thing to do. The electronic expert who is tampering with the figures knows exactly what he's doing. And these people, I'm suggesting, must be seriously punished.
Dr. Kojo Afarijan further admonished political parties not to go to court to challenge election results if they do not have valid pink sheets. He says the pink sheets remain the source document for reconciling election results.
The pink sheets are the most important, the only source document for reconstructing election results. Please take it from me that the pink sheets are the most important, if you like, the source documents for reconstruction of election results. See, that's what we mean when we say elections are won or lost at the polling station. That's what it means. Now, those pink sheets, duly executed, all right? Authentic and duly executed. They are the source document for reconstructing election results. So my friendly advice to you is that if you don't have authentic, duly executed pink sheets, as we say in Ghana, please think twice before you go to court.
You heard former chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Kojo Afarijan. Away from election-related matters, the National Association of Institutional Suppliers says it is hopeful that its engagement with the Ministry of Education will yield positive results before the end of November 2024. The group has bemoaned the persistent neglect demonstrated by the ministry in awarding them contracts and settling outstanding debt owed to members, which collectively exceed 100 million Ghana cedis. Speaking to Citi News, the president of the suppliers, Emmanuel Aibo, says they will be forced to take action if the assurance of payment is not fulfilled.
As we speak, we still have outstanding payments that governments have not been able to fulfill. And the payments, the amount is still small, but they are saying that they are promising that coming academic year they will increase. But these are issues, the issues that warranted our picketing are still pending. But November, by all means, if it is not tackled, there will be a picketing. There will be a massive picketing, a nationwide at the ministry, because we are still engaging them. But as we speak, we still have challenges of missing invoices at the ministry. Payments are still delaying. As we speak, those in first years, they've not even started paying those in first years. You see, those who reported on the 4th of December, that is last year, they've not started paying. So it's an issue that we are looking at it closely, and by next month, October, middle of October, if nothing is done about it, we will actually hit the street. We will pick it again.
That was the president of the National Association of Institutional Suppliers, Emmanuel Aibo. Now, a group known as the Unemployed Environmental Health Workers has expressed concern over the Ghana Police Service's refusal to provide protection for its planned picketing. The group had previously announced the intention to picket at the Ministry of Finance in protest over the government's failure to secure them employment for over 4 years. Speaking to Citi News, the group's spokesperson, Fred Atinga Awini, described the police conduct as unfair.
Unposted environmental health officers and assistants, as we have been saying, have graduates from the 3 schools of hygiene, and we have completed since 2021 up to date. This month, 28th, will be 4 years in the house without employment, and have threatened and have given notice to the police to have a picketing today. But it is unfortunate that the police are tossing us, and they have even called us to have a meeting with them at 2 p.m. Meanwhile, the demonstration, the picketing was supposed to be this morning. And so as a law-abiding citizens, as environmental health officers who are also state prosecuted for sanitary offense, we know the laws and we are equally going to adhere to what the police is saying and attend to them at 2 p.m. this afternoon.
Spokesperson for the Unemployed Environmental Health Workers, Fred Atenga Awene. Before we go, the Circuit Court in Kwabenya in Accra has adjourned the case of a man who was arrested for vandalizing effigies of the Big Six at the Kotoka International Airport roundabout. The case was adjourned to September 18 at the request of the Attorney General. This follows the referral of the accused person for mental examination by the court. The report from the mental hospital had not been filed as at the time the case was called today. Now, Gavu was arrested on Saturday, August 31, 2024 by the airport police after he was seen breaking the bust of the Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and other 5 members of the Big Six at the airport roundabout. It is unclear what motivated his actions. Meanwhile, the Ghana Airport Company Limited has initiated steps to replace the monument. And that's our package for you for today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabroka, Accra. For more news, please visit citinewsroom.com. My name is Ajuatin Kramadomna. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and